Hey guys, what's up? It's Oscar. Hey, I just wanted to take you along. I just finished this little project. Well, I'm almost pretty much 99%, 99.5% finished. Um, I had been kind of struggling with kind of what to do and how to deal with the kind of space issues that I was having in the new place with all my gear. And a lot of it is still packed away for this exact reason. I only have a little bit amount of space under my sink, but of course, the den keeps growing. So, but what I did was I don't remember who it was. Somebody posted this project on one of the Facebook groups that they actually had to make a second shelving unit for all their stuff. And I took that inspiration, I copied the picture as a model, and I kind of did it myself. Now, I swear to God, I'm Mr. Do-It-Yourself now that I have my own place, and I just took this project upon myself, and I wanted to do it at least to the best of my ability. Definitely have learned a few things along the way, so I'll point out a few blemishes that, or a few kind of, maybe miscalculations that the project has, but I'm pretty excited about it, so I thought I'd bring you along. All right, so here we go. All right, so what we have is, this is kind of my bathroom in the new place, and it has what I call the toilet coffin, because the space is pretty limited. This space, I call it toilet coffin because I just feel like whenever I'm using this room, I have to kind of leave the door open, or else you might get kind of claustrophobic. It's only 3 feet across, 5 feet long, and 9 feet tall. So I used, just figured what would, what would fit. What are the biggest dimensions I'd be able to do this shelving unit. And it's still kind of imposing. I'm sure it'll look more imposing once all the gear is on there. But I used, like I said, the model, the inspiration of the picture that I saw. And again, I don't remember who it was that posted it. And maybe if any of you see this, you can tell me who it was. But I just used that as an inspiration. Now, I just kind of, I started out, I figured the dimensions on the project that I saw on in the group looked like all these, and I'm sorry for the lighting, but all these were 1x4 pretty much. It was pretty much all 1x4s all the way around. And it was just a matter of where, how you're going to space it out and everything, and how you want to do the layout. The idea for how I arrange the shelves is not original. Again, I copied that other picture. But I kind of, try to do a couple things to make it my own. So again, it's 1x4s. And I actually had a bunch of leftover 2x4 that Maria had wanted me to do a shelving unit down in the garage with, and then she changed her mind. So I found out, I figured, 1x4, 2x4, if I just resaw them down the middle, it'll become a 1x4. But, in case you didn't know, like I didn't know, a 2x4 isn't really a 2x4. It's actually a 1 3/4 by a 3 3/4. So naturally, that just told me that my dimensions were going to be a little bit off. But some of the blemishes, real quick, that I did was I just missed a few spots, kind of in the staining. Simply because I was just kind of from not being able to get into those corners with the application of the stain. And also, there's a couple of parts of discoloration because of I was wearing latex gloves, but while I was staining it, I kind of was handling the piece to try to maneuver around it and stuff. So, but what happened was, this is my biggest blemish here, is I didn't want to do just nailing the cross pieces on. I could have just made it simple and just nailed this piece onto the end of this piece. But I wanted to kind of get into kind of some very basic joining. So I kind of cut these 1/2 inch, what they call dados, into the this board here. But I don't have an actual dado set of saw blades on my table saw. So I just kind of basically just kept feeding it back and forth, back and forth. But what I did to measure these crevices here, I use an actual 1x4. So these crevices are actually 1 inch wide, pretty much all the way around, as you'll see there. they're actually the 1 inch wide all the way around throughout the whole unit. But given again that these aren't actually from a 2x4, so these aren't actually 1 inch wide. They're not actually 1 inch thick. That's why you have these gaps pretty much all the way through the whole unit. And then you can see if you're looking from underneath, you can see that I wasn't able to get in there with the stain. And I used a red mahogany stain, by the way. And what I did also was I torched it. Before I stained it, I torched the wood. So if you can see the grains really standing out. It's basic fir. This is basic fir wood that you get out of the stack of 2x4s at the Lowe's or the Home Depot. But what I like about the torching of it is it really brings out the grains, as you can see. And then the red mahogany stain, which is something I already used in another project. It kind of really gives it a pretty cool look. But I had so what I did was, again, this is 48 inches, so 4 feet across, taking up obviously most of the 5-foot long wall. And it was originally just going to be 36 inches high up to this point right here, down to this point here. But I figured I was originally going to leave this part off and kind of leave it an open top. But what I wanted to do, I had the idea of doing almost like a molding around the edge, kind of like you might see here, something like this, but with the, obviously matching color, kind of along the edge. But I couldn't find any molding that I liked. It was going to be a simple one, and I didn't want to go too expensive or extravagant. But I couldn't find any molding that I liked, so I just left it, and I put a top, just that top piece all the way across. So that is about 9 inches from, this shelf is about 9 inches. This one is about, no, this one's about 9 inches. This one's about 6, and then there's about 6 inches in between each shelf here. Now, originally, what I did was I took measurements of, how wide are the, most jars of soap, how tall are most bottles of aftershave and stuff. So I definitely wanted to allow for, the bottles of aftershave to be able to sit up here. However, I decided to arrange it. And then again, given the fact that the 1x4s and 2x4s aren't actually 4 inches wide, and then that each, soap jars are almost universally 4 inches wide. I actually have a piece of this piece of wood here. Wait, where is it? Here, and then this one here, which gives me about an inch of space off the wall. So now I do have approximately, the 4 inches I need, of space off the wall, to accommodate the jars and stuff. So, and then I had leftover, industrial piping from another bookshelf project I had. So I attached that to the bottom for, for a towel. But this was kind of the part I like most, is this whole thing here is, for razors. I have space for 18 razors here. And the way I did that was just use, the spade bits, and then cut the circle, and then drew a line from the tangent of the circle all the way out here, and then just cut the straight lines. And then I tried to kind of distress it as I was sanding. I tried to kind of distress it a little bit. Just I was using a random orbital sander, and then just kind of trying to make it look distressed. There's some kind of indentations here, rounded off the edges, to make it easier to kind of put the razors in and out. And then, brushes, I can line them up here. But I actually have another project in mind for some brushes too. But, and then I didn't anticipate that the mounting bracket is kind of like a French cleat metal mounting bracket. I didn't anticipate that being visible. So what I could possibly do is remove that back piece of wood, because that's only, I believe, 1 by 2 inches wide. I might be able to just put a 1x4 in place of that. Sorry, in place of that, and that would kind of be able to cover that up, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just leave it. But anyway, that was my project. I'm good. 10 minutes. Hope you're still here. It's again very basic woodworking. I'm no, do-it-yourself expert by any means, but I thought it turned out pretty decent. Anyway, all right. Thanks for your time, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.